Since I've started doing these videos, I've been trying to understand where my motivation is coming from. Um, because I don't ever want it to be because I need to see, I don't ever want to have to need to see my name on a building or on a slab of steak or on a university. That's not necessary. We don't have to do that. I've never aspired to that. So why am I doing why do I feel this desperate need to do this and to have it seen? I made a few videos where I kind of touch on this. Or maybe I really talk about it. I can't remember right now. But I've been trying, I needed to make sure my motivation was a good one. I needed to make sure that this wasn't a product. Oh, I think the lens might be a little smooshy. I'm sorry. I'm gonna clean that. Hope that's better. I didn't want this to be a product of society's influence on me. This need to be famous, because I don't feel one. I never have. I think we all need to feel important. We need to feel like all of the pain we live through in our lives and all of the challenges we face and have to overcome again and again and again. We need to feel like all of that work is for a reason. Like there's something that the world is benefiting from because I'm here. We need to feel that. And we've been convinced that in order to feel that, we need to leave a mark. We need to have our name remembered in memoriam. Hi, Callie. Callie's is the only name that needs to be remembered in memoriam. She is the most perfect puppy to ever exist. Yeah. What needs to live on are the stories that we share. What needs to live on are the lessons that we learn from each other, the things that we take away from one another's stories that help us change our own stories and find where we want them to end so we can bring them there. And I know that sounds impossible. Like, you can't make all of your dreams come true. But I'm living proof that that's not the case. I'm sorry, the next door neighbors have a new puppy who has been left alone for a few hours now, and it is not happy about that. So if you hear that background barking, that's what's going on. Don't worry, I'm going to see if I can puppy sit while they're out for the future. Because I love puppies. Oh, and I hate that sound. That poor dog is so miserable. Okay. Yeah. But we can't go breaking in. That's against the law. And just, rude. Do you remember what I was just talking about, Callie? Of course she does. She's brilliant. Your stairs are over there, honey. Oh, your pillow. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. She is blind and deaf and almost 16, has arthritis, and so she now has to use stairs to get up and down from the couch and the bed. So she was trying to find those just then, and had I not moved that pillow, she would have gone for a nosedive on the living room floor. And hold on, because she's aiming for that again. Okay. Good job. Okay. She's all set now. Okay. Before all of the dogs distracted me, No one needs to be famous. We need to share our stories. That's what needs to live on, because that's when we learn lessons from each other. And I've been trying to figure out how to put this into words. Like, I've had this thought floating around in my head, but I haven't been able to name it yet. And I think I'm about to get there. So come with me on this journey. Let's see where I end up. Storytelling may be the single most important thing that human beings do for each other. I think it is. I think storytelling is critical for all of us, for our well-being, for our survival, for our feeling of connection and community. And each time one of us shares our story and is honest about it, not a sugar-coated version of the story, nothing that isn't true, nothing that isn't authentic. If we could do that with each other, oh my God, we'd all feel so much more connected. We'd all feel less alone. We would learn so much from each other. Would be able to advance in ways that we can't even imagine right now. I mean, we're going to anyways, but it would happen a lot faster, and we'd do really, really cool things. You know we would. You know, oh my God. If all of the countries in the world stopped paying for machines of war and instead started paying for science and exploration and discovery and everything that entails, space, medicine, our own planet, how we can fix it. Oh, there's so many things we can work on. There's so many things that we could be doing if we weren't forced into jobs we hated. I don't think that was where I was originally going, though. Oh, sorry. All of the dog action really brought me on a trip. I'm going to pause. Okay. All right. It's coming back. So, before I forget again, if I believe that this is going to work, and I do, I believe it can. I believe that my story can reach enough people that it impacts in a way that makes them feel less alone, that makes them feel less like failures and more like perfect human beings. Our flaws are what make us perfect, y'all. No one, oh my God, really, like, close your eyes for a second and try to picture a perfect human being. No flaws, nothing to complain about. That person would make all of us feel miserable. No one would like them. No one would want to be hanging out with them because we'd all feel so inferior to them. And we do that to an extent anyways, but it would be way more extreme if perfect people actually existed. We have to stop. Oh my God. I keep saying it over and over, but we have to stop having a problem with having problems. We have to stop having a problem with being flawed, with having human bodies full of flaws that we don't like, we don't want, but they're there. They're part of us. They're part of our story. This is a part of my story, whether I like it or not, and I do not. I really wish it wasn't there, but it is. And it does tell a story if you listen. And that's true for all of us. Our scars, our stretch marks, our wobbly skin, all of the pain that we carry inside, it all came from somewhere. None of them are failings of ours. None of them are evidence that we are not good people. We've been convinced that they are. We've been trained for centuries now to believe that that's what's true. But it's just not. It's not. There is nothing special about me. Nothing. Truly. Yeah. I have been incredibly fortunate in a lot of ways. Um, I got exposed to a lot growing up as a kid, so I had a broadened horizon, which made me want to look further, which is something my parents clearly didn't get because it was really important to them that they instill that in me. And I benefited from it. And I've judged my father my whole life for never wanting to leave Athol, the town that we both grew up in. And I think his father might have grown up in. He never wanted to leave. I would ask him, as I dreamt of going to Egypt and going to France and Paris in particular and everywhere in England, and I wanted to see everything. I want to go to Senegal. I want to see the whole world. I want it all. And I would ask him if he could just go anywhere, where would he go? I guess I'd go to Vermont. What? You've been there 1,000 times. You went to college there. Oh my God. I couldn't understand it, but now I do. He never was exposed to the outside world. He grew up in such an isolated town, living such an isolated life. And it was in an era as TV was blooming. He was born in 42. So people didn't have TVs in their homes as a standard practice. Now we have them in every room. And because of them, those are windows into other people's stories. We are getting those stories told to us, whether we realize it or not. We're being told that there are other people out there like us. We're being shown that we're not alone by all of the incredible writers and actors and everyone who works in the performing arts. They are trying to tell us something. They're trying to, the ones that aren't just out to make money, the ones that are actually in it because they care about what they're doing, those people are doing it for a reason. There is something that is compelling them to share someone's story in some way to try to make an impact on the world. Because we don't have enough stories in our lives. We don't share enough with each other. We used to all the time. We didn't have a choice before television. We didn't have a choice before we invented the theater. We didn't have a choice before we invented plays. There was nothing else to do but sit and talk with each other for millennia. That's what our species did. And it bonded us together. It created community. It made us feel like we were all a part of something, that we all had a role to play, because we did. There were people who tended to all of the agricultural side of it. There were people who went out and hunted. There were people who made clothes. There were people who tended to the kids. Everybody had a role to play in those societies. And they knew it, and they respected each other. And I mean, I'm hoping that they did. I don't know. I was not there. We forget that this isn't how we're supposed to be living. And because it is how we're living, we're miserable. All of us are miserable. Even the wealthy just keep striving for more wealth, never feeling like it's enough to fill this hole that we all feel inside of us. We all feel it. I don't think there's anyone out there, I can't imagine, unless you are a straight up narcissist and literally can't feel. But that comes from somewhere too. I can't. I'm trying very hard to truly, truly stop judging. I've done a lot of work on that already. Like I have fought a lot of my biases over the years. I've made a point of educating myself about the biases I held and the truth behind them. Makes it a lot easier to stick with. Pro tip. But I keep seeing more and more of them uncovered. And I still judge people, even though I am now fully aware that every single person, there is a reason that everyone does what they're doing. Everyone. There's a reason that racists are racist. There is a reason they hate. It comes from somewhere. Kids don't come into this world with hate in their hearts. That's why they're perfect, and we all most of us love them so much. They're just pure. They're what we could be. They want to know why. They are just constantly asking questions, constantly making friends. They just want to live. The rest of us do too. And even the behaviors we don't approve of or agree with, or we think is despicable or truly horrific, it all came from somewhere. It was all rooted in something. And I'm an atheist. I don't believe in evil as a being, as a presence. I don't think that evil lives in us. I think it's pain that lives in us. I think it's pain. Pain, emptiness, confusion, this feeling like we're broken, that lives in us. And we don't know how to get rid of it. We don't know how to not feel it. So for some of us, we've learned that if we can, in a moment, put that pain on someone else, inflict that pain on someone else, then in that moment, we get to feel power. We get to feel control. We get to feel like we are superior, at least to someone. To someone we're superior. Maybe not to the father that I was desperate to get approval and affection from. Maybe not to my mother who didn't show up for me the way she needed to. But this person, I'm better than this person. That's why we do it. That's where it comes from. That's where the hatred is born, and that's where it lives. It's where it grows. And I mean, it's not a coincidence that we are seeing rising levels of hate and rising levels of poverty and suicide attempts and pain and suffering. And it is connected. These two things are very much connected. Our anger, we are so exhausted. Everyone is spending all of our lives trying to figure out what we have to do to make enough money to survive, be comfortable, and have a future. We are trapped in this system that was made by the uber wealthy, and we need to fucking break it down. But my original point, I need to stop judging. I need to start, if I believe that this can work, if I believe that you can do this, I have to believe that I can do this too. I have to know that I can do this too. Or I'm just a hypocrite telling everyone else to be good. And yeah, I never ever want to be one of those people. Don't ever let me be one of those people. Hold me. If you feel like something I'm doing is hypocritical, please explain why, because I would never intentionally be hypocritical. So it's probably a lack of information or knowledge, and not an attempt to be phony or above anyone in any way. All right? Call me out on my shit, please. And this is what I'm going to call myself out on right now. So I've had this shirt for a couple of years, I think. I think I got it sometime during COVID. I have a lot of shirts like this, like political statements, things I'm passionate about. Like, I peach Stacey Abrams, for example, because I do. I peach you, Stacey Abrams. Oh my God, she's doing incredible work. Incredible work. Humanity's work. That's what I think God needs to be. I care about humanity. I want humanity's inclusion. I want humanity's love. I want to give my love to humanity. I want us to worship nature, worship the planet that is giving our lives, giving us life, giving everything life, everything that we know of, everything that we know exists that's living in all of time and space. This is where life is. This is the only place we know of that has life. I think that's going to change, but it hasn't officially yet. I mean, living life. Anyways, man, I go off on tangents. I'm sorry. Getting back to the point, I can't wear this anymore because when I bought it with anger and hate in my heart. And when I wear it, that's what's in my heart. And I mean it as an insult. I mean it to call out any white woman who is thinking of doing anything that harms in any way a Black person or anyone else of difference. Like, hey, white women, come here. We have to stop doing that. It's really not cool. All right. Okay. But I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to be happy about it. I am going to be really upset that it's happening. I'm going to do everything I can to fight it. But you can't fight it with cruelty. You can't fight it by trying to insult someone, by trying to make someone feel bad about themselves. Because the second you do, that person has shut down. They are not going to learn a lesson from this moment. That's why this shit keeps happening over and over and over again. Because in the moment where we could learn a lesson, we are so shut down. Our defenses are on full blast. They are high alert. There is nothing that's going to come in. We're not going to learn from those moments. The only moments that we are going to learn from are the moments that we can really feel. That's when the learning happens. That's when we have the chance to grow. And this shirt is never going to do that. It's never going to change anyone's mind. It's never going to bring any good into the world. So I am turning it into rags. I thought about donating. That's what I usually do with the clothes that, for whatever reason, I don't want to hang on to. But I didn't want this to go back out into circulation. I didn't want this to continue creating harm when I want the exact opposite to happen. So I'm not going to let it get back out there. I am going to use it as rags because the fabric is still perfectly fine. And they will be handy for a long time to come. But they won't be spreading hate anymore. I will continue, don't you worry, I will continue to wear shirts like this that remind us of why we need to fight, the lives that we keep losing, the people whose lives get destroyed, people who lose loved ones simply because that person walked out of the door, or simply because that person was born in black skin. Oh my God, it doesn't matter. Like, they can be in their own homes and we still find ways to kill them. I'm not trying to attack police officers. I think we need serious reform. And I think most calls need to go to healthcare professionals. I mean, mental health care professionals. But that's another topic. I'll keep wearing that shirt. I'll keep wearing shirts like this. I love this. This is from the Human Rights Campaign. Y'all means all. Last time I was checking out their shop, they still had shirts like this. So if you like it, great cause you're supporting, and dope ass shirt. I cannot tell you how many times people have been like, yeah, to this shirt. Because people like being seen. People like feeling like someone out there gives a flying fuck. And for people who love someone, or who are someone who uses a they, them, there, or is in transition, or is fluid, then this shirt is saying, hi, I'm a friend. You don't have to worry about me. I'm not gonna harm anyone. That's what this shirt is saying. That's what I hate that a shirt has to say that for me. I hate that a shirt has to reaffirm you're in a safe space. Like, I got you. It's so sad that I have to feel like this is why I've always had this need to get more people to hear the need for kindness and compassion, and I wear it on me. I'm a walking human billboard most of the time, and my favorite mask is a Black Lives Matter mask that I think is in my car. I usually keep it in my car. Yeah, I hate that this is what we have to do to signal to each other. You don't have to fear me. Does anyone want to be feared? I mean, to those white ladies white women, white whatevers, who feel like this shirt was attacking you, you don't want to be hated, do you? I don't think that's true. I don't think you want to be hated. I don't know. I'm sure it's different for all of you. But to speak very generally, I think there are a lot of people, a lot of white women who understand that they aren't fully human in the eyes of the men in their lives and in the eyes of society. We're fractions of humans to some individuals. They truly don't see us as full. So there's that pain that a lot of women walk around with and just feel like they have to accept. It's just a part of life. There's no other option, because they've never been told there's any other option. They've never been given the chance to imagine another option. Every time they do, they're made to feel guilty for imagining, because you have to obey your parents and you have to honor thy husband. And y'all, it's to keep us subjugated. There's a reason they don't want us thinking for ourselves. We need to think for ourselves. We need to stop and really think, do we want anyone to be afraid of us? Do we want to hurt anyone? Like, really, do you want to traumatize someone to make them feel like they can't even go for a walk in the park anymore because some white lady might call the cops on them, which puts their lives in actual danger. Actual danger. You could, through that act, be killing someone. Is that truly what you want? Because I hope it isn't. I hope not. And if it is, do some serious soul searching, because why? Why? Ugh. We have been taught for so long that we have to hate each other, that we have to tear each other down, that there are good people and bad people, and different people have very different ideas about what constitutes a good and a bad person. And they want that to keep going. The people at the top who rely on us for all of our labor, they want that to keep going. They love that there's Karens out there now. They love it because they know it's just going to make things worse. They love the way, man, I've been on Twitter trying to promote this, really. Because, yeah, I feel like people need to hear it. And I've been engaging in some conversations on different posts. And I can't tell you how many times I've had a response from a Black person who just cannot believe that I'm serious when I say I want to help. They think that I want to help so I can feel better about myself and then go on living my life as if there's nothing wrong with the world, because in my world, there is nothing, or much less, wrong. And we've given them so many reasons to believe that, white folks. So many reasons to believe that, because this has been going on forever. This is what our society was built for, to keep Black African Americans in subjugation in one way or another. Why do you think prisons are filled with Black people? Is that a coincidence? Or are those privately owned prisons making money off of the labor that they get from those criminals that they don't really have to pay? I don't know. What seems more likely? That a fraction of the population commits the majority of our crimes, or that someone is fucking with all of us and our system is built to hurt Black people so that white people can keep benefiting from their existence? I don't know. Just a few random thoughts. But they don't believe me. They don't believe that I really am in this fight with them, that I will show up, that I am actively working. Like, literally, it's my job. I'm a diversity, equity, inclusion consultant, and even that people have a lot of eye rolling about because they've been to a lot of bad trainings in the past, and that's not the way we do at diversity at Berkeley. Sorry, that was not meant to be a plug. I'm not trying to plug, but we're dope. Yeah, we do our work based on research and data. So we paint a picture of what is really going on, because so many people just genuinely are not aware. We try to bring that to the surface, reveal it, talk about where it came from, and then talk about how to fix it. What are we going to do about it? And we leave them with real action items, things that they can do moving forward to create more inclusive spaces, to ensure equity, to really engage the diversity that exists and bring more in. exists within the organization is what I meant. But all right, so I guess I'll leave you with a call to action, because it is effective. It's effective. So if you have anything like this that is really just putting more hate and pain and division into the world, and you truly want the world to become better, you want all of this insanity to stop, you want people to stop killing each other, stop hating each other, start screaming at each other, stop being miserable, and start actually getting to live, if that's what you want, if that's what you're really, really angry that we don't have, that's why we need to do this. We can't keep, the hate is never going to get us there. It's never going to get us there. And I know it sounds impossible. I know it does. It feels impossible most of the time. But I have to believe it's possible, because there are too many kids that I love. There are too many. I want a family. I don't want to bring life into this world if this is the world they're coming into. And I would be so afraid of any kiddos in my care whenever I brought them to school. It would be horrifying. I'd be living in constant fear. And I mean, they're worth it, obviously, but I don't want to have to live like that. I don't want to have to make that choice I want to just be able to raise my kids in a safe place where they get to run around and play with other kids and learn from really awesome adults in their lives, and get to experience all the wonderful things that life has to offer, and so much less of the crap that we've all dealt with. It's not impossible. And I think we all want that. I think no matter which side of the aisle you are on, that's what you want. Or else, why are you having kids? Why bring more life into the world if you aren't hoping that they get to experience something better than what we've experienced? Because otherwise, you're just bringing a soul into this world to be as tortured as you are, and that sucks. Don't do that. If we want this to be a better world for them, it's not going to be a better world for us. I don't think it's realistic to say this is going to happen overnight. I would love if that could happen. What I would give for a magic wand. But women aren't actually witches, y'all. We're just smart. We're just thoughtful. We do have opinions, and we can speak our mind, and that's a threat a lot of the time. It's a threat to the way society is built to be, because we care. Seriously. We are the caregivers. Biology, I mean, I know this is not for some people with uteruses. Do not get me wrong. I'm not trying to put any pressure or shame on anyone for not wanting kids. Your life, your choice. More power to you. I don't know if it's ethical to bring life into this world right now. That's a conundrum I'm having. Which is fucked up. I shouldn't have to have that as part of the equation and whether or not to have my own biological child. That shouldn't be part of the equation. Wondering whether or not it's even safe to bring them into this world, or if I'd just be ensuring they live a horrible life until they either can't take it anymore or they die miserable. Either way, they die miserable. I don't want that. And this is a miserable world. It's gonna take time for it to change. but we can change it. It does not have to be like this. I'm the last person in the world who thought I would try to get the world to listen to me. I've always considered myself an introvert. And I realize it's because anytime I'm with people, I've always just been giving of myself because I wanted to help everyone else. Now I have learned that I need to save some of it for me. I need some of the love too. Therapy works, y'all. If you've got a good therapist, it's worth finding a good therapist. Someone who speaks your language. If they get you and you understand what they're saying, that's the therapist that you should be working with. If you feel like I don't know what they mean or they're not really hearing me when you're talking with them, wrong person. You got to find someone else. They could still be fantastic. They probably are. Don't get me wrong, but not the right fit for you. And it has to be the right fit for you for it to really work. The more you know. Sorry, I know I said I was going to end this a while ago, but things just keep coming. Clearly there's a lot I want to say. A lot of it's the same thing over and over again because we keep doing the same things over and over again, and I just don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. I'm going to keep trying to figure it out because at some point, I hope someone on this planet is going to be able to figure out how to create enough of a swell in the direction of good, in the direction of love and compassion, that the world will tip fully in that direction, that there will be few places, hopefully none, on this planet where people are just living miserably and dying. Just living another miserable life and dying. None of us wants that. And we don't have to have it. And there has to be some magic combination of words that will click for people. You have to hear, I've realized, because I've been trying to figure out why my depression has flared up, like it's all I'm doing. That's why I've been smoking so much lately, because I don't usually, especially not in the day, I usually, I'm working in the day and I don't have any desire to use weed at that point. Sometimes when I'm going to sleep, yeah. But I've been using it all the time lately, because it usually helps me have a revelation. If I get stoned enough, like it has to be a high dose. But if I get to that point, I have these moments where things just make sense. And as I'm watching movies or reading stories or learning about things, it's like it's one more piece of the puzzle. I've realized I take what I need to hear from different shows, different movies, whatever. And I tuck it away. I don't always know what I'm going to do with that lesson, but it's in there. And now I feel like I know exactly what I'm trying to do. For the first time in my life, I know exactly what needs to happen. I don't know how to make it happen, but I know what needs to happen. I think it could work. That's not where I was going. I'm sorry. We taketh away. Yeah. That's why I haven't been sleeping at night. That's why some of these videos get posted so late or so early in the morning, depending on your perspective. That's why I ramble so much, because I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to get things to click into place so I can move out of this depression and back into my life. Yeah, so I take different stories from different shows, different movies. I've been watching Inventing Anna, and I'm not at the end yet, so I don't know how it all turns out, and I don't want to spoil anything for anyone else, so I'm not going to talk in particulars. But it gives you a window into the lives of the uber wealthy, and it's really, really, really fucking disgusting. We're told to believe that this is what you want. This is the life you aspire to. Be like these people. These people are living great lives. That's what we've all been told over and over again, that these people, that's the peak. That's what peak success, peak achievement looks like. Those people. But I see that and I think, oh my God, what you could do with that money. What, like, in one scenario, they run up a tab of $62,000 for a vacation. And it just, they don't even bat an eye. I, for years, made way less than $62,000 a year. And I was struggling to survive. I was struggling to keep enough oil in my tank to keep my heat on in the winter. I used to keep my heat at like 43 degrees. That in the middle of winter in New England, that's not really helpful. It's enough to make sure the pipes don't freeze, because I can't afford another problem, obviously. And yeah, I would just pile on the layers of coziness and many, many blankets, and that's how I lived for a while. And these people are spending what some people dream of making in a year on a week's vacation. On a week's vacation. And what did you get out of that experience? How did it fulfill you? How was it life-changing? Was it something that just filled this void in you, or do you still feel empty? Do you still feel like there's got to be something more fun, more entertaining, more exciting than this, because I still feel this hole in myself? It's never going to be filled with things. It's never going to be filled with luxury. Ever. That hole will stay there forever. The only way you can fill it is by caring about other people. It's by connecting with people. It's feeling loved, feeling seen for who you really are, not who you feel you have to be, not who you've been trained to be, who you really are. If that person gets seen, if that person gets to feel like the world sees me, not my makeup, not my clothes, not my shoes, not anything superficial about me, not my crooked teeth, which a commenter has already called me out on, so that's fun. I'm not going to fix them because they are not a problem. I eat fine. They're a part of me. I have crooked teeth. Oh well. There are other things I could do with my time, energy, and money than fix things that aren't broken. I mean, technically there is a chip, but that's a whole nother story. I miss you, Liz Koenig. So, yeah, I've been rambling for a while. I think I've made the same point in about 20 different ways. Maybe, I don't know. If any of it resonated with you, I hope you share, because I need help with the screaming. I need help getting this heard, because I do believe it could change minds. It could make people think. It could make people who really don't want, I don't want to stop hating. I don't want to stop hating these people. My anger feels so righteous and it feels so powerful. But I'm realizing that really that anger, that hatred, it isn't powerful. It is debilitating. It's what's preventing real change from happening no matter what we do. It's preventing the exact thing that we need from happening ever. I have to keep, I feel like I've been feeling a lot of deja vu lately. I think part of it is I have the same understandings of things from time to time, and it'll click, it'll make sense. I'll be like, oh yeah, that's where that came from. And then I'll forget about it. And then somehow it'll get triggered again. It'll come flooding back and I'll remember, oh yeah, that's totally true. I forgot. I need to start doing that. I need to start showing my mother compassion. I need to really forgive. I need to let go of the anger, because what I have always wanted from her, well, what I can realistically want from her at this point, is for her to get into therapy and do the hard work and go through her healing process and get to the other side of that, so that I can actually have a relationship with my mother. An honest one. I want that. I really, really want that. But my anger, my hurt has kept me so mad at her that I don't know how to deal with her. But I do. It's with compassion. It's the same compassion I would show to a complete stranger, and who knows what they've done in their life. I'm nice to them. Why can't I be kind to my own mother? Because it's personal. Because it brings up pain for me, and we all try to avoid pain. But the more we try to avoid it, the more it comes for us. You can't run from pain. It will find you anywhere. It is a natural-born hunter. So, as soon as I press stop, I am calling my mother. And now that I have said that out loud, I have to do it. Because if I want to inspire you all to start making some real changes, if I want you to cut up your t-shirts if they're cruel in any way, if they perpetuate hate or division, cut them up. I want you to talk to the people, really talk to the people in your life who matter, who you've hurt or who you've been hurt by. Have honest conversations with them if they'll let you. I know some people are just going to shut it down. They're never going to be able to open up. I don't know what to do about that. I can't figure that out. I tried for a long time with my father, but I never got there. If you know the magic trick, please let me know, because that would be super duper. Start sharing your story. Start being honest. Stop using filters. Stop hiding behind this pretense that we're all perfect. We're not. We're not. And that's what makes us perfect. Okay.